Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday. The transfer market shuts on Friday. It has very quickly become a panicky week for us Celtic fans and the club, because business needs to be done and there's not a hell of a lot of it being spoke about. There is cause for concern heading into the deadline, but we're going to talk about everything that's in the news right now. Stay tuned. God, it's going to be a fun week. Welcome back. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, at the start of the transfer window, I set the target that I wanted to hit 40k subscribers before the transfer window shut. We are now just over 100 away. We are very, very close, and I really do think we can hit it by Friday. So please, if you haven't already, please go down below, hit like, most importantly, hit subscribe, and let's together as a community hit that 40k mark. Remember, there will be a giveaway at 40k as well. But yeah, if you haven't currently subbed, get it done, because we're so close. Yeah, it's becoming quite a nervy week now, and the end of this transfer window is going to be manic for Celtic, should they be doing the correct job behind the scenes and trying to get signings over the line. We heard last week that Brendan Rodgers wanted 3 or 4 more players before that deadline on Friday night. Currently we know of one who will arrive at some point this week, and aside from that, we've heard nothing. There's not an awful lot of names out there, there's not an awful lot of rumours, and there's not a lot of talk, which has left us in quite a precarious position heading into these last couple of days. It's going to be nervy, it's going to be panicky for both us as supporters and in the back room, but we really need to get things done, because we've seen firsthand that we need to inject some life into the team. And I hope the board are doing everything they can to try and make that happen. Let's talk about one of the rumours that has been going around for the last week or so, but most importantly in the last 24 hours. It was reported by BT, not British Telecom, the Danish BT, that Celtic have had a bid rejected by Brøndby for Mathias Kvistgaarden. Over the last 24 hours, Celtic reportedly have put in a £4 million bid. The club themselves value the player more, in the region of £6 million, and they have told Celtic no, which is not great for us. Despite the club valuing him at £6 million, and maybe that's all it would take extra, another £2 million on top of that 4 to make it happen, Brøndby have made it very clear to Celtic that they don't intend on letting him go, and they probably want a lot more money than that. This was also in the same article from BT. They said that Brendan Rodgers' club made it clear they were ready to pay even more, but Brøndby also refused, as they need Kvistgaarden's qualities. They also said that Houston Dynamo are interested in the MLS, but they have also been given the cold shoulder. He is contracted till 2027. And it doesn't look as though they're ready to let him go anytime soon. So that was reported by BT overnight. It has then been picked up, obviously, by the media over here. But the £6 million rated striker doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Let's have a little bit of an insight on the player himself. He had his breakthrough campaign last season when he came into the Brøndby first team. He scored 6 goals in the championship round of the 22-23 campaign. He also assisted 4. That was all within 9 appearances. And so far to start this season, he's got a goal and 2 assists in the opening 6 games. He's also chipped in with goals in the Europa Conference League qualifiers. So far within his young Brøndby career, he is only 21 years of age. He's going to be dubbed with that project signing tag, the one that we seem to dish out to every player under the age of 30 at Celtic. He has been looked at. Celtic obviously keen. They've made it clear to Brøndby they are willing to pay more, but they're not going to make it easy to bring him in. He's someone who they hold in quite high esteem, obviously being at such a young age and now attracting attention from sides such as Celtic. We know exactly what he'd be coming in to do. He would be coming in to be in that kind of backup role to the likes of Kyogo, probably alongside O. And over the last few games, without O being here, it's been made very evident that we do need someone like that. We need another one, because if Kyogo or O drops out suddenly, the options become very scarce up front, and I don't think that Kyogo and O is going to just... That's not going to do it for a lot of folk. there was the hope that maybe Dyson Maeda can obviously fill in that role as well, so you have your kind of third choice there. But with his kind of shaky start to the competitive season, I don't think an awful lot of people are keen for that. Hence the reason I think Brendan Rodgers has identified Matthias Kvistgaard and and wants to make it happen. He has had a very impressive youth career. He knows how to find the net, if that's anything to go by. For the Brøndby under-19s, he scored 31 inside 45 appearances. And so far for the Danish under-21 side, he's been capped 8 times, scoring 4 goals. So he's got quite a good sort of start to his career in the youth levels. He's now obviously just breaking into senior football over the past year or two with the Brøndby side. And obviously Celtic have picked up on that. I think that he would look like a good option for us. But are Celtic going to go and try and pay the whole 6 million or more if Brøndby want more? That's an entirely different question. So funnily enough, while I was rendering the video to finally publish it and get everything out there, during that, in the last 10 minutes, we have had an update on the Matthias Kvistgaard situation. Reportedly, according to The Sun anyway, apparently Celtic are very close to agreeing a deal to get this done. In the article, they have said that an agreement between all parties is said to be very close as Matthias Kvistgaard nears a transfer to Celtic. So apparently they've rebuffed the initial offer, which involves an upfront fee of 4 million. But the deal might rise to as high as £6 million. It's been reported that the agreement between all parties is very, very close. So there was me a minute ago saying, I think we'll pull it and it'll end up no happening. I've been getting this. So, I guess this is one that we're going to have to just watch with a keen eye over the next few days. But yeah, we might actually have our next signing following Luis Palma ready to arrive at the club. So an unexpected turn of events since I sat down half an hour ago to make the video that you've just watched. Yeah, we'll follow it. But nice, if we get business done with Kvistgaard here, we've got the left winger, we've got the striker. Now we wait on a goalkeeper and a left back. And that would be a very strong end to the transfer window in my opinion. And I'd be pretty satisfied with that. Plus £6 million, it's a big fee. So they've got the money out. Let's just hope it works out. Talking about 6 million rated strikers, Albion Hayeti looks like he will be leaving Celtic after a failure of a career when we picked him up for that big fee back in 2020. A lot of money was spent, we know that, and it's not went well, but the nightmare is coming to an end for both us and him as he looks like he's getting his move to Turkey, I believe. According to reports in Turkey, he looks as though he's close to joining Turkish Super League side Gaziantep, and yeah, that's that. Apparently set to have his in-person talks this week. It looks as though the transfer will be wrapped up before the deadline. There is no talk of how much money it will be for, but I can probably guarantee right now it won't be that much. We're certainly losing a hell of a lot of money in comparison to what we paid for him. But he's finally going to be off the books, and we know that's a good thing because he'll be on a high wage. He'll be on something that was probably quite juicy, and now that can be gone and used elsewhere. And now he was never a worry for the registration. He was never going to be registered in Brendan Rodgers' side. But yeah, it's good to finally see him move on. I wish him the best, but yeah, never worked out here as we know. And finally, let's get an update on the Luis Palma situation. We do know that he was pictured boarding a flight to Scotland last night. That was put up by his old club Vida in Ecuador. So he looks as though he'll maybe be here by now. We might get an announcement of him signing tonight if we're lucky. I'd imagine maybe tomorrow morning. But he is on his flight. He's gone to Scotland. He's coming to do everything and get it finished and done. The £3.5–4 million deal can be wrapped up. And he could be ready to debut on Sunday, which would be good news for us because I think we need him in that team on Sunday. It's a baptism of fire, but they may as well get him put in while they can. And listen, for someone who was apparently, in talks with Rangers and considered by Rangers, if he was to go out and get the goal that wins the game, what a moment that would be. But we'll wait and see what happens when he signs. Obviously, he's got to have time to acclimatise to Scotland and Glasgow and the team and just get into the swing of things. But I think it'll be a good signing for us. I'm excited to see what he does. And he's coming in that area, of course, where we needed a little bit of reinforcement. So, yeah, Lewis Palma should be announced a Celtic player over the next 24 hours, I would imagine. Yeah, good. And that's really it. Disappointing, to be honest, for a Tuesday afternoon, the Friday before the Friday of the transfer deadline. I really expected more, and that's bitterly disappointing, to be honest. But I'm trying to remain optimistic and trying to remain faithful that we will hear stuff tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. Celtic liking this nervy end, they're keeping us on our toes. Annoying, but it'll be fun to watch, I suppose. Right, if you want to keep updated this hectic week, we will be back as soon as news develops and everything else. So if anything comes out tonight, we'll be reporting it tonight. Whatever comes out tomorrow, we'll be reporting it tomorrow. We'll be here all the way to that build up to the game on Sunday. So yeah, like and subscribe. Let's get to 40k, and I'll see you all next time.